Hey guys, Silver here, and for the past few weeks I've been obsessed with Sonic Racing Crossworlds. I was one of the few people that actually liked Team Sonic Racing, so I was pretty excited when it was first announced at the Game Awards last year that we'd be getting a new Sonic Racing game. Especially because of the recent boost in quality with the mainline titles, I was interested in seeing how this would carry over in a brand new spin-off game. And as we've seen more and more trailers and news of the game, it got me even more excited. I thought the Crossworlds mechanic was cool and innovative. They brought back the mechanic from Transform, which was my favorite car racer of all time, and most importantly were all the new characters they were bringing back and adding, like Cream, the Chaotix, the Sega guest stars like Miku, Joker, and Ichiban, and for the first time in a long time, Jet the Hawk and the rest of the Babylon Rogues are returning alongside the Extreme Gear. Bringing back elements from both Riders and Transform was such a big deal. With the Sega crossovers on top of that, this was definitely looking to be the ultimate Sonic Racing game. Well, Sonic Racing Crossroads is out now, and I put in a good amount of time in it, so let me give you my thoughts on the game. Sonic Racing Crossroads features the same fast arcade style racing as the previous car racers with fun and satisfying drifting mechanics. However, I'd say that Sonic Team definitely improved upon the gameplay style established by the Sumo Digital kart racers, as controlling your vehicles and pulling off air tricks feels smoother and faster, and it also helps that the character animations when driving are greatly increased. When it comes to how the water and flying segments are, they're really fun too and add great variety to the racetracks. I still prefer how the transform mechanic plays in that game, but it's still great here. As for the Extreme Gear, they have now been relegated to a separate vehicle type from the cars, so you can now choose to play as any Sonic character using either vehicle type, as well as being able to mess around with the huge amount of vehicle customization there is. And as a fan of the Riders games, I'm extremely happy that the Extreme Gear is in Crossworlds, even if it mostly just plays like the cars but with different handling. I also really like the car customization in this game. I main Silver, and I thought Miku's Diva Machina board looked cool, so I gave it Silver and Blaze colors, and it's my primary vehicle. Aside from Silver, other characters I main are Supersonic, Blaze, Miku, Cream, and Sage. But whenever Knights and Ai are playable, they'll eventually be in my top 3 of mains. As for the track design, it's amazing. A part of why I love the Riders game so much is because the racetracks are so well designed and varied in their obstacles that the Riders series almost felt like genuine mainline platforming Sonic games. Well, the same is true for Crossworlds. The track design is so dynamic, and what makes them even better is all the awesome locations from past Sonic games they decided to grab from, alongside brand new original locations, which are pretty fun too. Some of my favorite racetracks are E Stadium, Wonder Museum, Colorful Mall, Radical Highway, Water Palace, Mystic Jungle, and I especially love the 3 courses in the post-game Secret Grand Prix, which features tracks based on the 3 most recent games, like Kronos Island for Sonic Frontiers, North Star Island for Sonic Superstars, and of course White Space for Sonic X Shadow Generations. These are just some of the racetracks that come to mind, but when it comes to the brand new Crossworlds, there's even more of them. I love the Crossworlds mechanic. It's such a fun and innovative feature for a racing game to have a ring portal take you to a completely new location mid-race, and I love it whenever they try to use more with the concept of portal rings in the Sonic universe. Some of my favorite Crossworlds include Digital Circuit, Dragon Road, Alaska Night, Sweet Mountain, Cyberspace, and it's also pretty cool that they gave us a sneak peek of Sonic X Silver Lost World with Hidden World. As much as I love the track selection in Sonic Racing Crossworlds, I do have to mention that it's pretty disappointing that there's almost no representation for the Sonic Riders games. The only form of representation that the first Riders game got was White Cave being a Crossworld, which isn't even the most iconic level in that game, and Zero Gravity gets absolutely no representation, which is really depressing considering how much I love that game and that game's soundtrack. In my opinion, they should have added Metal City from Sonic Riders as a full track, as well as add Aquatic Capital from Sonic Riders Zero Gravity as a Crossworld. Just imagine a remix of that song, it would be so peak. Overall, for a racing game, the gameplay of Sonic Racing Crossworlds is phenomenal, and it's definitely better than any other Sonic racing game in that regard. Moving on to the characters and writing of this game, it's pretty solid. There's a great selection of playable racers, as pretty much every Sonic character from Heroes is here, alongside the Babylon Rogues, Silver and Blaze, Savik and Zaz, and we even get Sage, which is really cool considering how recent of a character she is. I do, however, wish we had some more deep cut Sonic characters, though I'm pretty sure the main reason they just stuck with the current cast is because the event of this Dodonpa Grand Prix is most likely canon, so they probably didn't want to complicate the character interactions by adding in characters that are either from the classic era or are dead. Speaking of the character interactions, despite this game not having a proper story mode, the new rival interactions make make up for it. As before each Grand Prix, you're given a rival who's the toughest CPU you face during the race, and we get tons of dialogue between the two characters. As for the dialogue itself, it's written pretty well. It's fun seeing characters who usually never interact speaking and sharing banter with each other, and Ian Flynn has done a better job making the characters and references sound more natural. All except for Amy. Her characterization is still awful in this game, and it's pretty clear that Ian Flynn hates the character that Amy is supposed to be. Plus, he made Silver say yeehaw. Speaking of Silver, however, I absolutely love Bryce Papenbrook's performance in this game. He was already my favorite voice actor for Silver, but he's improved significantly since TSR, and I can't wait for him to voice Silver in a new mainline game someday. An aspect of this game that I was initially kind of worried about was the soundtrack for this game being subpar, with the main vocal track Crossworlds sounding corny, and the beta versions of the OST sounding pretty generic. Well, I'm happy to say that the final version of the Sonic Racing Crossworlds OST is great. Still not as good as Team Sonic Racing's OST, but there are some really good songs here. I love the EDM and J-pop style of music that's in this game, as well as the more cinematic tracks with choir vocals. Some of my favorite songs include the ones for East Stadium, Wonder Museum, Market Street, Kronos Island, and the incredible saxophone in the Cyberspace Flowing remix. Also, despite the main vocal theme having pretty cringe lyrics, the actual melody of the instrumental is pretty good, and the song fits well with the awesome CGI intro for this game, which is actually in the Switch version this time. Speaking of the Switch version, it's the primary version I played, and in terms of the visuals, they're fine enough despite some bad lighting here and there, and it runs at 30 frames per second, and it's usually pretty smooth, but you will find a few slight slowdowns if too much is happening on screen. The Switch port, however, is still a decent option for the cheaper price and for the fact that it was really fun playing this game on handheld mode. Also, surprisingly, the online works great on the Switch version of this game. It probably has some of the best online in any Switch game, which is kind of insane considering it's way better than the online of any first-party game on Switch. It's also a huge plus that this game is cross-platform, and that alone will greatly increase the lifespan of this game. I did also play a bit of the PC version, which I won in a giveaway from Versadile, so shout out to his Twitter as well as the Sonic Racing Crossworlds server in the description below.
You know, for years I've been asking for a Sonic racer that rivals the amount of fun I get from the first Sonic Riders games. Hell, even Free Riders sometimes. Yes, with the Kinect. I might be a little cooked. That being said, if I sound a little familiar to you guys, it's because my name is Daffy, and I've been making a little come up on the YouTube scene recently, and I just thought I'd stop by to say a few good things about this game, and thank you for Silver for inviting me to do so. I think the biggest thing I want to talk about is this game's soundtrack and how fantastic it ended up being. Now, just like you guys, I was kind of up in arms when it comes to the soundtrack of this game. I mean, the music that they were showing us didn't necessarily sound all that interesting, and then they showed us their little spin they put on Windmill Isle, which, might I ask, why does it sound like that? The soundtrack grew on me a little more once I heard that fantastic Cyberspace Crossroad theme, and well, even the game's main theme grew on me. It's not on the level of rock and roll like the original music of Sonic Riders and its sequel, but it's not as bad as some people thought it was going to be. But that White Cave remix is, let's just say I'm happy we can use the original song. This game gets me so excited to race, and the game's original soundtrack, while not perfect, is definitely something that gets me in a racing mood, something another kart racer failed to do. And that's just the music. I haven't even gotten started about the technical things we can do here. To talk about my top 5 favorite courses in the game right now, it will be Wonder Museum at number 5, Coral Canyon at number 4, Market Street at number 3, Sand Road at number 2, and Kronos Island at number 1. Honorable mentions being White Space, White Jungle, and Digital Circuit for their Crossworld maps. Sonic Racing Crossworlds is the hidden gem the community has needed. It's not the most advanced racing game, but it's accessible and fun, and honestly that's all that matters. Like, I can put a creeper on an extreme gear. What game am I even playing? But yeah, thank you so much for Silver for letting me join him in this video. If you guys want to see Silver in some videos of mine, please go check out my Sonic and All-Stars Racing video trilogies. He's appeared in all 3 of those videos, and if you want my opinion on those games, you'll get that too. Once again, Silver, thanks for having me on, and Sonic Team, I need to see Aquatic Capital in this game, please.
Overall, it's because of these reasons that I think Sonic Racing Crossworlds is not only the best Sonic car racer, but this is the best Sonic racing game period, as well as the best Sonic spin-off game. I'm extremely happy that the Sonic community finally has their own Sonic multiplayer game with Mario Kart and Smash Bros levels of extra content and fan service, and I really hope this game will last for years to come, and I can't wait to play the future DLC for this game, like Nights, as well as the Pac-Man and Mega Man courses. By the way, Pac-Man World 2 Repack is my game of the year. And when it comes to future Sega characters I'd love to see as free updates, I'm I'm hoping for BD Joe, Joe Musashi, literally any Puyo Puyo rep, Sakura from Sakura Wars, and of course the Bonanza Bros. Also, one more thing before I go, huge shout out to Daffy for joining me in the Sonic Racing Crossworlds video. Definitely check out his videos on the Sonic Racing trilogy that I make an appearance in. They're awesome reviews and I highly recommend them. But anyways, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know what are your thoughts on Sonic Racing Crossworlds.